Air travel had a hard time back in 2020. When COVID hit, airlines canceled a lot of flights and grounded their planes until further notice. With almost 65% decreasing passenger numbers, 2020 was one of the worst times in airline history. But now, almost 3 years later in 2023, things are finally looking back to normal, with more flights and passengers than ever before. Some of those flights are long. Very long. So buckle up, lift up your tray table and straighten your seat because we are about to take off to our top 10 longest flights in the world in 2023. Number 10. San Francisco to Singapore. 8,446 miles, 13,593 kilometers. This flight takes about 17 hours and 25 minutes, depending on your airline. Both United Airlines and Singapore Airlines operate this flight twice a day. United uses their Boeing 787, while Singapore Airlines uses the Airbus A350. The Singapore Airlines flight takes about 17 hours and 35 minutes. Can you imagine sitting the entire flight next to a crying baby? Number 9. New York JFK to Manila, capital of the Philippines. 8,520 miles, 13,712 kilometers. This flight takes about 18 hours and 10 minutes. The only airline on this route is the pride of the Philippines, Philippine Airlines. They're using an Airbus A350 for this flight. Would you be comfortable in economy for 18 hours? Number 8. Dallas, Fort Worth to Sydney, Australia. 8,577 miles. 13,723 kilometers. This flight from the Lone Star State to Australia's iconic city takes about 17 hours and 5 minutes. It has a shorter duration than number 9, but you have to fly more miles to get there. Good for those frequent flyer points. This flight is operated by the Spirit of Australia, Qantas Airlines, and they use a Boeing 787. Let's hope that the in-flight entertainment is worth it. Number 7. Houston, Texas to Sydney, Australia. 8,578 miles, 13,805 kilometers. This flight departs from another major Texas city, Houston. The only airline on this route is United Airlines, and they use their Boeing 787 Dreamliner for its 17-hour and 45-minute long flight. Let's hope Houston has no problem, because this flight does not see a lot of land during its trip. Number 6. San Francisco to Bangalore, India. 8,702 miles, 14,004 kilometers. This flight lasts for 17 hours and 55 minutes and is operated by the Airline of India, Air India. Different from our earlier mentioned airlines, Air India uses a good old 777 for this flight. Number 5. Los Angeles to Singapore. 8,770 miles, 14,114 kilometers. Another flight to Singapore. This flight operates twice a day, or should we say twice a night, since both flights depart at 8:40 p.m. and 23:25 p.m. Both flights are operated by Singapore Airlines, and in both cases they use the Airbus A350. Which departure time do you prefer? Number 4. Auckland, New Zealand, to Dubai in the United Emirates. 8,823 miles, 14,200 kilometers. We are getting close to our top 3, but now it is time for number 4. This flight is operated by one of the best airlines of the world, Emirates. The flight lasts 17 hours and 10 minutes, and Emirates uses their iconic A380 on this route. Number 3. Perth, Australia, to London in the United Kingdom. 9,009 miles, 14,499 kilometers. With a flight time of 17 hours and 45 minutes, this is one of the longest flights to Europe. It is a relatively young route, started in 2018. The flight is operated by the Spirit of Australia, Qantas, and they are using their Boeing 787 on this route. Maybe you get a hot tea or English breakfast on board. Number 2. Singapore to New York, Newark Airport. 9,525 miles, 15,325 kilometers. The flight time from Singapore to his second biggest airport of the Big Apple is 18 hours and 25 minutes. Singapore Airlines operates once a day on this route and uses their Airbus A350. Would you spend more money on your tickets so you can sit in a bigger seat in premium economy? And now, number 1. New York JFK to Singapore. 9,537 miles. 15,349 kilometers. If you are looking for a long flight, Singapore Airlines is your airline. This flight takes 18 hours and 30 minutes. Once again, operated by a Airbus A350. I flew a couple of times with this aircraft and it is one of the best. But, for it is long? I think I would consider a connection somewhere halfway. What would you guys do? Leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching and have a safe flight.